At exactly 7:02 a.m., the system registered a routine event. A security guard had just clocked in. His ID badge was scanned, his credentials verified, and his shift officially began. Everything looked normal, except for one detail. By that time, he had already been dead for nearly 3 hours. There were no signs of system failure, no alerts, no indication of tampering, just a clean, time-stamped entry documenting the presence of a man who could no longer exist. Investigators would later confirm there was no possibility he had walked through those gates, which left a single question. If he was already dead, who clocked him in, and why? His name was Daniel Okoye, a 42-year-old security guard known for discipline and consistency. He worked the early shift at a logistics facility where every movement was tracked and recorded. Each day followed a strict routine. Arrive early, scan and log patrol routes, and begin rounds. He was dependable, predictable, and trusted, so when he failed to respond to a routine radio check, it immediately raised concern. A search began, and Daniel was found several kilometers away near his vehicle in a quiet, undeveloped area. There were no witnesses, no clear signs of struggle, and no immediate explanation. But investigators quickly established his estimated time of death. Between 3:30 and 4 a.m., hours before his shift and long before the system recorded him clocking in at 7:02 a.m., the case shifted instantly. Now the question wasn't just what happened to Daniel. It was who used his identity after his death. Investigators reconstructed his final hours. Cameras showed his car leaving home just before 3 a.m., consistent with his routine. After that, the trail went silent. There was no footage of him arriving at work. Yet the system showed his badge was used at the main gate hours later. The gap between his death and the clock-in became the central mystery. The facility system used RFID badges that recorded every scan, including time, location, and terminal. Logs confirmed Daniel's badge was used at Gate Terminal 1. But when surveillance footage was reviewed, something felt wrong. A uniformed figure appeared at the gate, head lowered, movement slightly hesitant. At a glance, it could have been Daniel, but the posture didn't match. The system hadn't failed. Someone had physically used his badge. The investigation turned inward. Who had accessed the badge? Who could benefit from creating the illusion that Daniel was alive? A breakthrough came from internal logs. At 6:48 a.m., minutes before Daniel's recorded clock-in, another badge was scanned at the same terminal, belonging to a night shift guard named Michael Ease. His shift ended at 7 a.m., placing him at the facility during the exact window. At first, it seemed coincidental, but deeper analysis revealed inconsistencies. Michael had accessed areas outside his assignment and spent several minutes unaccounted for. A small gap, but significant in a system designed to track everything. Then came another detail. Daniel's badge was missing from the scene, meaning someone had taken it deliberately. Investigators reviewed surveillance again. At 6:59 a.m., Michael was seen near Gate Terminal 1, not entering or leaving, just standing still. Then at 7:02 a.m., he scanned a badge, Daniel's badge. The motion was clear, even if his face was partially obscured. The impossible was now explainable. The clock-in wasn't an error. It was intentional. The question was why. The answer emerged through financial records. There were transactions between Michael and Daniel, debts, tension, unresolved conflict. Messages suggested confrontation. Then GPS data placed Michael near the location where Daniel's body was found just before 4 a.m., aligning with the estimated time of death. The timeline finally made sense. Michael had encountered Daniel before his shift. Something escalated. Afterward, he took Daniel's badge and returned to work. Hours later, he used it not just to cover the crime, but to manipulate the timeline. By making it appear Daniel had clocked in, he tried to suggest Daniel was alive hours after his actual death. Instead, he created the one detail that exposed him. The arrest was quiet. There was no chase, no spectacle, just evidence, questioning, and eventually a confession. Michael admitted to the encounter, the badge, and the clock-in. What he failed to realize was that the system he relied on would ultimately betray him. Every action had been recorded with precision. In trying to rewrite time, he had drawn attention directly to himself. For Daniel's family, the truth brought answers but no comfort. the workplace changed, with stricter protocols and tighter controls. The case became a lesson in how even the smallest inconsistency can reveal everything, because sometimes it's not what you see but when you see it. In the end, it wasn't the crime that gave it away, it was the time.